Hey everyone, it's Eric with firearmtutorials.com, and today we're looking at the YHM Phantom. This is the titanium version. You don't really see a lot of videos or information about this. For some reason, it's overlooked. You see a lot of stuff about the M4 2000, some of the Silencer Co. ones. You know, this is a great suppressor. I've compared this against some of the AAC ones. The reason I chose this one specifically was the size and weight. I wanted something very compact and very light. Decibel rating, it's subjective, but supposedly this one's a few dBs louder than some of the alternatives. I think the main reason you don't see this one as often is the price. This is a pretty expensive suppressor. MSRP, it's around $1,000, but you can get them for significantly cheaper than that. I will say though, I did have to wait a while for this one to come into stock. I was actually to the point where I was going to pick something else because I was just tired of waiting. I mean, it was literally 6 to 8 months before I found this in stock at Silencer Shop. I was on the waiting list. Once it came in, they actually called me and I said, all right, why not? Here it is. Like I said, this is made of titanium. Now, there are many different grades of titanium. The age-old argument of titanium versus steel as far as the strength and other properties associated with it. If you're interested in reading some more detailed information about that, I have an article at firearmtutorials.com. Other than that, you'll see it's very small. So if I compare it to, here's the Octane. So you see without the 3-lug mount, it's still shorter. This is similar size to like the Tyrant. So this one's still smaller. You see I got the 5.56 version. I didn't go for the 30 cal because again, I wanted as short and as light as I could get it without going to something like a dedicated mini can where definitely get good performance out of this. On the back of it here, you see that we've got the teeth. Give you a better shot at it here. But you'll see the teeth are actually on the back of the suppressor itself, which is different from some other mounting solutions where they'll have it integrated into a locking mechanism on the side of the suppressor. So the teeth here actually lock up pretty nice to the mount, and I'll show you that shortly. Okay, so if we take a look down inside here, you can see the blast baffle down in there. And then obviously the teeth, there's a little bit of wear on them from where I've put it on and off, taken it on and off. Okay, so if we look at the finish here, you see that it's already got some markings on it from getting hot and, you know, coming into contact with things when it was very hot. But YHM calls this a matte finish. It's actually, it looks similar to a bead blast stainless steel barrel, if you've ever seen one of those up close or in person. That's similar to what it looks like. It's a little darker than a bead blast. And you'll notice here that it shows a little bit of darkness. Zoom out here, but it almost looks like I've rolled it around in the dirt, and that actually happened when it was shot for the first time and got hot. So you'll see over here, it's like a nice clean gray color. And then in the middle here, it's got kind of a burnt or dirty look. That's just gonna happen the first time you shoot it. And it doesn't take long for this thing to heat up and turn this color. So if you look here, this is a shot I took when it was brand new. You'll see that it's a nice solid silver color. And then obviously now you can see that it's gained some color to it. Okay, so if we look at the mounting system, you'll see it's got a pretty aggressive looking brake on here. It comes in this just plain cardboard box. You don't get a pouch with it, but you do get an instruction manual, and it does come with a flash hider. So unlike a lot of other manufacturers that make you buy it separately, it actually does come with it. So in lieu of coming with a pouch, you get a flash hider, which I think is pretty cool. I chose to go with the muzzle brake on here, and if we take a look at this mounting system, you'll notice that you've got some coarse threads here that kind of guide the can on, and then you've got these little bumps here. And now notice that this is under some tension here. It's spring-loaded, and it's actually pretty hard to actuate. But that's what's locking the can onto the end of the gun. So you see as we go to get it on here, we'll hit these threads where that kind of aligns the suppressor so that the teeth can engage. Now once you turn it here until it stops and it's locked up. So right there, you're good to go. You've got a nice positive engagement. You're not going to have to worry about the can coming loose and getting baffle strikes or end cap strikes like you can potentially get with something that is a direct thread-on. That's why I never suggest doing a direct thread-on can. Yes, they're cheaper, but they're cheaper for a reason. So you'll notice that most of the top-end suppressors, at least for rifles, come with some sort of quick detach mount. Now, I will say that it does not take long for this thing to get hot, so when you go to take this off, you have to get a good grip on it. It's not gonna, come off as easily as a thread-on pistol suppressor. So you need to get a good grip of it and then just obviously turn it the opposite way. Okay, so if we look at the footage of this suppressor in action, you'll see here I'm adjusting the switch block to the suppressed position. This is just going to regulate the gas to try and reduce the amount of blowback we get through the breech with additional back pressure associated with the suppressor, which is very important for me specifically since I'm left-handed. My face is literally right behind that ejection port. You'll see the gas is present, but it's not overly present. So you'll see the suppressor is already starting to smoke. We're not in but a handful of rounds. So if we look at the actual breech here, you'll see that there's a little bit of gas here, but it's not bad, especially compared to some of the suppressed guns I've seen. This, is pleasant for me to shoot. And honestly, I think it's actually I'm getting a little bit less back in my face than I would with, say, an MP5 that's just a 9mm. So I was pleasantly surprised. I think the Noveske switch block works well. If I switch it over to the non-suppressed setting, which is basically going to put the same amount of gas as it would if it was unsuppressed, I do notice that it's a little too much for me to take, so I know that the switch block is working. So that's pretty much it, guys. For me, though, the weight savings is what I was really after, and the compact size. So if that's what you're looking for, this is a great option. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.